Welcome in part 1 how we create Stargate Iris. So without further ado, let's jump to Blender.
Welcome to Digital Imposter.
Before we start, let's go to Edit, Preferences, choose Add-ons, type Image, and select the Import Images as a planes. And then go here and save as preferences. Okay. Press X to delete the cube. Press F7 to have view from top. And now we will import our first image. Just drag and drop. Select the image, Alt G to reset its location, and also Alt R reset rotation to clear rotation. Okay. Let's change our image name from empty to image. Select Scene Collection, press Shift 8, and we will create the plane. This plane will help us get the right scale of this picture of this gate here. Press N to open the tool tab on the right side, and in the part where is dimension, we will put the dimensions of the Stargate, which is 6.68 meter. Okay, now let's select the viewport shading, and now let's adjust a little bit this picture here. This is the center, and we have to move this center, this part of image over here. G, X. Let's go to the object data properties. There is opacity, and let's set this opacity a little bit lower. Now we can see through the image, right? So it's much easier for us to adjust its location. Press Shift to be more precise. G, Y. Now we go along Y axis. Perfect. On the top here, when we have transform pivot point, right, let's choose to 3D cursor. When we will scale it, we'll not go from the center of the picture, we will scale it from this point where is the 3D cursor, right? So press S and look, and now we have this gate here center, so we have to match this top part to edge of this plane, and bottom part to this bottom part of plane, right? Oh, we choose the wrong dot. It should be this one. Doesn't have to be super perfect. Okay, now we can take our plane and delete. We don't need it anymore. Next thing is Shift A. We will add circles. Shift A, circle. Okay, go here to add circle, and vertices we will change to 80. Close it. Click wherever you want to close. Okay, and now let's scale it, and we will match with this corner here, because this is the iris, right? And we need to match with this corner of the iris. Scale. It's enough. Now let's go to the edit mode. Press Tab as a shortcut. Now E for the extrude and S to scale it inwards, and we will match with this corner. We will match this arc over here. It's enough. Okay, now press 3 to go to face select. Press C for the circle select. Okay, and we will select all the faces we don't need, and we will delete them. I went a little bit too far. Okay, and press delete and choose faces. Okay, perfect. So far so good. Okay, now press K for knife, and we will cut from over here. We can go a little bit closer to have better view for the things we will go do. Okay, now press K for knife tool, and we will cut and press shift for more precise, of course, cut. We will cut the shape of the iris we need. Of course, you could do it different way, using scaling tool also, or move vertices, but I think this way is much faster. And press enter. Okay, now circle, C for the circle select. We will select all those parts we don't need. X delete the faces, and now we will do small adjustments. Change to the vertex select, and we will move some vertices. Double G, and now we can slide a little bit lower. Okay, here is so far so good. Oh, here we have one vertex too much. So select both vertices, press M, and for example we can choose at first, so it will merge at first. We will put this a little bit up to have good round arc. I need to have proper arc, because if it will be extending this way too much, you will not have creating the illusion of smoothness. It will be more jagged. M and this one merge at last. Perfect. So far so good. Let's change the, looks good, beautiful. Next thing, what we will do, we will add few modifiers. Okay, press N to close this tab. Let's go over here, modifier properties, and we will add right now 2 modifiers. First will be solidify. Okay, so as you see, I have units in meters, so 1 will be 1 meter, 0.1 will be 10 centimeters, and 0.01 will be 1 centimeter, right? So it's enough for us. As you can see here, the thickness of our iris, right? So we will leave it as it is. Next one, we will add the bevel, and 10 centimeters, like you can see, it's way too much. I will change this to 0.002. It will be 2 millimeters, and we have this beautiful bevel, and also it looks really nice over here. So during rendering, it will give us this kind of really nice smooth look of the edge, not something sharp. Okay, so now let's go here to data properties and choose normals and auto smooth. Okay. For now, let's turn off all the modifiers. Edge select, and we will select those edges outside. Press M, because what we will prepare now is for our UVs, so we could put textures on it. So M, right click and mark seam. Okay, beautiful. So we will add another modifier called array. Okay, really nice. Okay, so from the picture over here, if you count, we have 20 of those pieces, right? So count over here, we change to 20. We will turn off relative offset. Okay, because we really don't need it. Okay, go to object mode. Okay, now when you have selected this iris, let's change name to iris. Press Ctrl A and hold transform. And now we will use object offset. Okay, and we will create now the empty object. Shift A, empty cube. Perfect. And we will use this cube, this empty object, to create 20 copies, 19 actually, as this one will be 20 copies of this iris around this circle, right? So now let's go back here. We have, and we will empty. Let's change this to word rotation. Rotation. Okay, easier to find here. You can use the speaker or press here, and we have rotation. Okay, and now we will rotate this cube along Z axis, right? So if you know from school, so we have to take 360 degrees divide by 20 pieces, right? Here, those 20 pieces, then you know how many degrees you have to offset each piece. So 360 divided by 20, it's 18 degrees. And here we have, and look how it looks. Let's see, we can even press like this. So good job, so far so good. So right now, we can hide our image because we will not need it. As you can see, all those irises are on the same height, right? So basically they are into itself, if you understand what I mean. So now we will edit few things. We can change to X-ray, so we can see everything. Press A, select all or you can press L also. Let's go to edge mode and select the last edge, and as you can see, it's kind of bright with white here, right? So it means it's active, and we will raise this iris a little bit up. So rotate, and here we can change to local, okay, and the active element. Okay, so R for rotate, X we choosing which axis, and now you can see, right, we raising. So we will make it looks a little bit good. We will create this illusion that those layers are stuck on each other. Should be fairly okay. Let's exit And now if you look from this side, right, we have this illusion that those layers are stuck over each other pretty well. Okay, very good. Here I rotated on the y-axis to get this better look of the stacked layers. Let's turn on the X-ray mode. Shortcut is Alt-X. And rotate on the X-axis and make it a little bit lower. Okay, looks good. Alt-Z to exit the X-ray mode, and everything looks really good. Yeah, looks good. Fine, I'm proud. I'm really proud of you if you follow this tutorial and you are already at this point with me. Okay, now we will do a few minor corrections for our mesh. Because I will show you now. Let's go to X-ray mode. Press vertices. Select L to select everything, and here we have active. Okay. Now let's see what will happen if we close the iris. R, rotate on Z-axis along the X-axis. You see how cool it looks. So cool, right? Let's close it. Okay, perfect. Rotate how many degrees? 60.2 degrees to close the whole iris, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's closed. But let's exit the X-ray mode and let's see how does it look. You see, this is a little bit too flat, right? Looks great, looks good, but a little bit too flat. Even from the bottom, looks awesome. Looks really good. So what we have to do now is we have to raise this part, right, to give this iris proper look, and I will show you what I mean through the reference photo in the corner of this video. So we will use something called the shape keys, right? We have over here, right? Before we add the shape keys, first we have to apply the modifiers, because if we create the shape keys and make some changes in our mesh, then we can't apply modifiers at all. So first, apply array. Okay, cool. You can apply those two or you don't have to, it's up to you, but I will apply them also. Okay, so now let's go create the shape key. Well, this is our basis, and now we will use the second one as our it will remember the changes we will make to our mesh. And here the value we have to set to 1, because 0 will produce the base, and when we set to 1 it will remember all the changes. Let's turn off right now the X-ray mode. Let's go to edit. So we have a lot of, as you can see, meshes. So what we have to do now, okay, so we will do like this. Okay, let's select all of those tips. This part will take a little bit longer. Now Control plus. You can see now we drawing our selection. Let's see how it looks. H and hide. H is for hide. Alt H to show. Hide the Control I to inverse the selection. So now we press H and we hide the rest of the mesh we don't need. This part will take a lot of time now. Using H select mode, we will select the tip. So C for circle. Also, we will be in the normal space and we will use select active. Then next step we will do, we will rotate this tip on y-axis by 2 degrees. And we have to repeat this process many times. And we will do for all of this. Rotate y 1 degree. Rotate y 1 degree. And for you, I will speed up this video so you will know what to do. Okay. Here, as you can see, I have small problem. Before I didn't notice I had selected one of the edges and I hide it. So, and I moved the vertices a little bit. So I used the snap tool to correct this mistake quickly. After we finish bending those tips up, we can take a short look at our beautiful iris. Next step that we have to do, we will take all the edges of the iris and move them a little bit up one side and another side little bit down, so the edges of the iris were more pronounced and more visible. So let's go back to the edit mode and select those tips and extend the selection so we could hide the parts we don't need right now, because we will focus our attention right now in the center of the gate. Using Alt Shift and left click, we select all the edges from one side of the iris. I will select all of them because it will make things easier. Let's change to global and individual origin. We can go to okay. So now G that, because we want to rise them, we will rise them by 5 centimeters, no, half millimeter. So point, because as you remember, the iris is thick for 1 centimeter, so it's enough. One side we will raise 5 millimeters up, and another side we will lower by 5 millimeters down. I will go this way. 0.005. Okay, we raised this 5 meters. Okay. Enter. Okay. And now we repeat the same process for the other side of this iris. Select all the edges, and in the end we will lower them by 5 millimeters. GZ minus 0.005. Now let's unhide the rest of this iris. Press Alt H. Then press Ctrl I to inverse the selection, and now we will hide the center part of the iris, and we will do exactly the same thing what we did for the central part. We will select the outside parts of the outside edges and rise them. Okay, so again, GZ 0.005, beautiful. And now select everything, and we will go the other side now. Now GZ minus 0.005. Ta-da! Beautiful. Looks awesome. And let's exit the edit mode. Let's go to object mode, and look at this. Looks awesome. Really looks great. And of course we can select and shade smooth. Look, it looks beautiful. And we have this, guys. So this is the end of the part 1. In part 2 we will jump into shading. We will create the material for the iris. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and don't forget press the notification bell. Also share this video with your friends, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.